What if the doorway to your inner sight has been waiting for you all along, hidden not in the stars, not in distant temples, but inside your own body? A small point, tucked away in silence, holding the power to change the way you feel, and perhaps the way you see the world. Take one slow breath with me now, in and out. Do you feel it? That tiny shift, the shoulders dropping, the chest loosening, the mind softening. That's your body remembering how to listen. And just beneath that stillness lies a switch, a key that sages once called the very seat of the soul. The mystics of Egypt, of India, of forgotten lands whispered of it. Today, scientists call it part of your nervous system, a place where calm and awakening meet. Some know it as the pineal gland. Others simply call it the third eye. But names don't matter. What matters is that your body already knows where it is and what it can do. Now imagine this with me. You bring 2 fingers gently toward the space between your brows. You press, not hard, just enough for the skin to listen. And suddenly something subtle stirs. A warmth begins to spread, like sunlight moving through water. Some feel it as a soft tingling, almost like tiny sparks dancing under the skin. Some feel an old weight lifting, as if years of tension finally exhale. And others whisper that it feels like silence itself is flowing through them. Not empty silence, but a presence, a vast quiet that holds you instead of leaving you alone. Can you sense it already? Even in imagination. This is not a trick, not a gimmick. It is your body reminding you of a truth you once knew. The philosopher Gary Zukav, in his book The Seat of the Soul, wrote of this awakening, the moment when inner vision becomes more real than the outer world. And tonight, or this morning, wherever you are, you're about to step into that very doorway. But before we go deeper, I want to know something. Where are you right now watching this? Are you in your living room with a blanket wrapped around your shoulders? Are you in bed, the glow of your phone lighting the dark? Or maybe you're sitting somewhere quiet, creating a sacred moment just for yourself. Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. And if your spirit feels drawn here, trust it. Whisper a gentle yes to your own growth. Tap subscribe. Let this be your quiet first step into an awakening your body has been waiting for all along. Because what you are about to learn is not just a technique. It is a rediscovery, a hidden key, a light behind your eyes that has been waiting patiently for you to remember. You may still feel that quiet whisper in your forehead, that soft calm left behind from the simple breath we shared moments ago. It's almost as if the body itself remembers something old, something it has carried all along. And now together we begin to ask, what exactly is this point? What is this technique that can awaken such silence? For thousands of years, ancient cultures spoke of a doorway hidden within the human being. The Egyptians painted it as the Eye of Horus, not merely a symbol of protection, but a sacred eye that looked inward, piercing the unseen. In the yogic traditions of India, it was called the Ajna Chakra, the command center that guided intuition and clarity. Indigenous healers in the Americas spoke of a light behind the brow, a flame that allowed one to walk between worlds. Different languages, different lands, yet all pointing to the same mystery, a place between the eyes where vision is no longer physical, but spiritual. Modern science, of course, uses different words. Doctors call it the pineal gland, a small pine-cone-shaped organ nestled deep in the brain. Though tiny, it plays a powerful role. It helps regulate your sleep by releasing melatonin, responding to light and darkness, guiding the rhythm of your days and nights. Think of it as the body's lantern, glowing when the world is dark, resting when the world is bright. But here is where science and mysticism quietly meet. Ancient healers believed that this gland was more than a biological clock. It was an inner eye, the very point where spirit and body touched. And isn't it interesting that even today, when you gently press or focus on the space between your brows, many people describe sensations that go far beyond biology. Why does pressing here bring calm? Why do some feel a wave of warmth, others a sudden release, and still others a strange clarity of thought? One explanation is simple. This area is rich with nerve endings. Touching it lightly can send a calming signal through your nervous system, especially along what scientists call the parasympathetic branch, the rest and digest state. Imagine it as a gentle whisper to your entire body. You are safe. You can soften now. This is why the technique feels both physical and mystical. On one level, it's nerves and signals, the body responding like it was designed to. On another level, it feels like something ancient waking up, a memory of the inner sight spoken of for millennia. There's an old story of a monk high in the Himalayas. A visitor once asked him why he spent hours each day in meditation, touching his brow so tenderly. The monk smiled and said, "Because when I press here, I touch the sky inside my own head." He wasn't speaking of stars or clouds. He meant the vastness, the inner light that can't be seen with the physical eyes. Manly P. Hall, in his timeless work, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, referred to the pineal gland as the seat of spiritual vision. He suggested that to awaken, it was to awaken the soul's sight, a view not bound by the physical world. And though written decades ago, those words echo what seekers have felt across centuries, a sense that something deep within us is waiting to be unlocked. Now pause with me for a moment. Have you ever felt it yourself? That odd sensation in your forehead during a long meditation, or perhaps when you were deeply tired, as if pressure or warmth gathered between your eyes. Some describe it happening by accident, others during prayer, some even in moments of stress when the hand instinctively rubs the brow for comfort. If you've felt it even once, know that you are not alone. Across the world, millions quietly share this same hidden knowing. This is the technique in its simplest truth, bringing your awareness, your touch, your breath to the pineal point. It is not complicated. It does not belong only to sages or monks. It belongs to you here and now. And though modern language and ancient poetry describe it differently, the experience is the same, a soft doorway into yourself. But this doorway is not only mystical. Beneath the silence, something very real is happening in your body. Signals are moving, hormones are shifting, the nervous system is listening. And this is where our journey takes us next, into the quiet science of why pressing this point brings such deep calm, and why your body has been waiting for you to rediscover it. Science, when spoken gently, becomes less of a laboratory and more of a language your body already understands. So let us explore how pressing just behind the ear can ripple through your nervous system like a tuning fork, harmonizing both body and spirit. Think for a moment about the vagus nerve. Its name comes from the Latin word vagare, meaning to wander, and truly it wanders like a river of life, flowing from the brainstem down into the chest, weaving through the heart, the lungs, and finally touching the belly. When you lightly press the area just behind your ear, you're tapping into one of the places where this wandering river comes close to the surface. Modern neuroscience has found that this nerve is like a bridge between two worlds, the visible and the invisible. On one side, it slows the heart, calms the breath, and signals safety to the body. On the other, it soothes emotions, quiets looping thoughts, and gives us the rare gift of presence. In the book The Polyvagal Theory by Stephen Porges, the vagus nerve is described as the root of our body's capacity to shift from survival into calm connection. When overthinking takes hold, your system is usually stuck in vigilance, like a guard who refuses to step down. But a gentle touch behind the ear acts as a signal, whispering to that guard, "You are safe now. Let's go deeper." Imagine your body as a great orchestra. The heart is the drum, steady and strong. The breath is the flute, rising and falling. The mind is the violin, weaving melodies of thought. But the conductor, the one who tells all these instruments how to harmonize, is the vagus nerve. Without its guidance, the orchestra can slip into chaos. By stimulating this nerve, you're not just calming thoughts. You're bringing the entire symphony of your being back into tune. Science has even measured this harmony. Researchers track something called heart rate variability, the gentle rise and fall of time between heartbeats. Higher variability means resilience, calm, and emotional balance. And guess what raises it naturally? Gentle vagus nerve stimulation, including that soft press just behind the ear. Now, how does this connect to energy? In ancient traditions, the spot behind the ear was often seen as a gateway. In traditional Chinese medicine, points near this area were linked with calming the spirit, reducing agitation, and opening pathways of flow. In Ayurveda, it aligns with channels that soothe prana, or life force, restoring balance where mind and body have lost their rhythm. Notice how East and West, though using different languages, arrive at the same truth. This spot is not random. It is a keyhole to unlock both biological calm and energetic harmony. To make it tangible, imagine pressing behind your ear and sending a signal down a golden thread. That thread reaches your heart, telling it to soften. It reaches your breath, guiding it to slow. It reaches your belly, where tension unwinds. And finally, it reaches your mind, like a quiet hand laying itself on restless thoughts. In the Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, the nervous system is shown as the keeper of memory and stress. Trauma, worry, even daily pressures live in the body long after the mind has tried to let them go. This is why physical techniques like this touch are so powerful. They bypass words and stories and speak directly to the body's language of safety. And if you've ever wondered why thinking feels so loud, it's because the nervous system hasn't been told it can rest. Touching this point is like dimming the lights in a theater after a play. Suddenly, the stage is quiet, and the audience, your mind, can finally settle into silence. But let's not think of this only as science. Think of it as remembering. Your body already knows this wisdom. The ancients mapped it through energy. Modern researchers trace it through nerves. Together, they form a bridge. So as you hear this, ask yourself, when was the last time you allowed your body to truly feel safe? To let your guard drop, to let thoughts loosen, to give yourself that permission. This question isn't just scientific, it's deeply personal. And when you press here, you might notice that your answer begins to change. Long before modern doctors spoke of nerves or bioelectric currents, our ancestors carried maps of the human body as if it were a sacred temple. They saw the skin not as a boundary but as a doorway. Every pulse, every breath, every hidden point beneath the flesh was drawn like a constellation across the sky of the body. And if you look closely at the wisdom left behind, in temples, scrolls, and chants, you will notice something extraordinary. Many cultures mark this delicate space just behind the ear as a place of awakening. So pause for a moment. Place a finger gently there. Now ask yourself, what if this simple touch was known to your ancestors, not as a nerve, but as a passageway? In the shadow of the pyramids, Egyptian healers believed the body carried streams of invisible light called the Ka, the essence of life itself. On temple carvings in Dendera and Luxor, priests are shown pressing their hands near the side of the head, fingers hovering at that very curve behind the ear. To them, it was more than muscle and bone. It was a channel to stillness, a way to balance the spirit so the Ka could flow freely. Across the Mediterranean, Greek physicians echoed this mystery. Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, wrote of hidden channels in the neck and skull that influenced mood and calm. Though his language was simple, his observations were profound. Pressing these regions softened tension and quieted restlessness. It is striking how closely this resonates with what we now call the vagus nerve. Modern writer Stanley Rosenberg, in his book The Healing Power of the Vagus Nerve, notes that gentle pressure and release in this exact area can restore balance to the body's stress system. What the priests and physicians once sensed as spirit, Rosenberg now describes as neurophysiology. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. Golden light flowing down from a temple, passing through the hands of a healer into the calm of a seeker's body. That same light, that same current, flows through you when you press this point today. Travel east, and the blueprint deepens. In traditional Chinese medicine, the body is crossed by meridians, channels of energy that carry life force, known as qi. Near the mastoid bone, just behind the ear, lie acupressure points connected to the shen, or spirit mind. Taoist healers believed that touching these points could quiet the heart's agitation and open the door to deep presence. For thousands of years, Chinese physicians used gentle ear massage to calm fear, settle dreams, and ground the restless mind. Even today, acupuncturists trace these meridians with the same care, noting that the nervous system seems to mirror what the ancients mapped. It is here that the mystical and the measurable converge. The acupoints behind the ear align strikingly with the branches of the vagus nerve. What Chinese sages described as qi flowing into the shen, modern science describes as signals traveling into the parasympathetic system, lowering heart rate and quieting stress hormones. 2 languages, 1 truth. As you imagine this, see a soft golden thread traveling through your ear, down your neck into your chest. Feel how old wisdom and new science bow to each other. In India, the ancient science of Ayurveda described the body as a vessel of subtle winds or prana vayu. These currents shaped thought, emotion, and vitality. The area behind the ear was associated with calming the winds of the mind, where overthinking could dissolve into silence. The Karaka Samhita, one of the foundational Ayurvedic texts written by Karaka over 2,000 years ago, speaks of therapies for the head and ears to restore clarity and balance. Oil poured gently over the scalp, massages along the skull's edges, and warm compresses behind the ear were all considered ways to soothe a turbulent mind and restore harmony to the body. Imagine a stream of warm oil flowing across your temples, down behind your ear, dissolving tension you didn't even know you carried. Ancient healers called this Shirodhara, a therapy for returning to your inner stillness. Today, neuroscience shows that such soothing practices engage the vagus nerve, promoting the same balance of rest and renewal. In truth, the language has changed, but the wisdom has not. Whether you call it pranavayu or parasympathetic tone, it is the same current of peace. Even beyond the great civilizations, echoes remain. Indigenous healers in the Americas placed their hands near the ear and skull to clear the winds or open the listening path. For them, this point was sacred not only for healing, but for listening, both to the earth and to the spirit world. In shamanic practices, the area behind the ear was seen as a threshold where the voice of the universe could be heard in silence. Pressing it was a way of tuning the body to the great rhythm of nature. What is remarkable is that cultures separated by oceans and centuries still arrived at the same understanding, that this delicate curve of bone and skin was more than anatomy. It was a listening point, a balancing point, a doorway. So now, as you sit here with your own hand resting softly behind your ear, realize this: you are not simply pressing a nerve. You are touching a place honored in temples and huts, scrolls and chants, across continents and centuries. You are joining a river of wisdom that has flowed unbroken through time, waiting quietly for you to step in. The blueprint was always there. Science has only begun to translate what the ancients drew in spirit. And in this moment, you are the bridge, your hand, your breath, your presence. Take a slow inhale, exhale gently. Feel the weight of that lineage in your touch, and know this: the practice is not just ancient, it is alive in you. So far, we have walked through centuries of wisdom, touched the points our ancestors revered, and listened to what both mysticism and modern science reveal. But the question remains: how do you bring this alive day by day in the rhythm of your own life? The practice is simple yet profound. Begin by finding a quiet moment, morning, evening, or whenever your spirit calls. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a slow, deliberate breath. Let the inhale fill your chest, and the exhale release tension you didn't know you were holding. Now gently place 2 fingers behind your ear, just where we explored earlier, or lightly rest them on your third eye point. Hold this touch for a few steady breaths, allowing warmth, tingling, or stillness to arise naturally. There is no rush. 1 to 2 minutes each day is enough to begin this subtle awakening. With consistent practice, you may notice shifts emerging quietly over time. Perhaps your sleep deepens, or your thoughts no longer chase each other in endless loops. Your reactions may soften, stress loses its grip, and clarity finds its way through foggy moments. This is the nervous system rewiring itself, your body learning to trust calm once more. Spiritually, it is as if the inner doorway you pressed each day begins to stay open longer, welcoming whispers of insight and presence that were once fleeting. Imagine tuning a stringed instrument each day. At first, it takes focus, patience, and attention. Yet with gentle repetition, the instrument resonates effortlessly. This is the promise of your daily practice, not immediate transformation, but a slow unfolding of harmony within body, mind, and spirit. Over weeks and months, picture yourself carrying this inner calm through life's noise. Your intuition may deepen, moments of insight may appear spontaneously, and the simple act of pressing this point may become a quiet ritual that restores connection to your own inner guidance. Even when challenges arise, the doorway you nurture daily remains open, offering a sanctuary for both thought and heart. And remember, this is only the beginning. Each day you return to this simple touch. You are not just calming your body, you are preparing for the next doorway waiting to open, a deeper shift that continues to unfold within you. Take a moment now to feel the echo of everything you've explored. From the gentle press behind your ear to the whispers of ancient healers, your own nervous system has been listening, learning, and responding all along. From the golden temples of Egypt to the quiet wisdom of Taoist monks, every hand that touched this point, every breath aligned with it, carried the same thread that runs through you today. This practice is a bridge, connecting the past with the present, the seen with the unseen, your body with your spirit. Notice the subtle currents moving within, the warmth, the tingling, the stillness. Perhaps you felt a quiet release, a soft expansion of awareness, or the gentle slowing of racing thoughts. These shifts, however small, are your body and mind remembering what they have always known. Pause and ask yourself, where did you notice this shift? Was it in your heart, your mind, your breath? Let your reflections settle, and if you wish, share them in the comments below. Your experience may illuminate someone else's journey too. If this practice resonated with you, I invite you to continue stepping softly along this path. Join our community, the Spine Gospel, where each gentle breath and touch is a thread in the tapestry of awakening. Tap subscribe and whisper a quiet yes to your own growth. Like this video, if it stirred something within, and share it with someone who might also benefit from a doorway opening quietly inside. Let this be your gentle commitment to your calm, your clarity, your inner sight, and as one doorway opens, imagine the others waiting along your spine, or at the heart center, each a secret passage leading to stillness, insight, and connection. Explore them slowly, one day at a time, noticing the subtle shifts, the gentle guidance, the quiet answers that arise when your awareness is present. The journey is not about rushing, but about attuning, listening, and honoring the rhythm of your own body and spirit. Finally, carry this thought with you. The doorway is always within you. It has waited patiently through centuries across lands and traditions, ready for your touch, your breath, your awareness. Step softly, step daily. Feel the golden current awaken your inner sight, and know that every time you return to this practice, you're not only calming your body, you're awakening the wisdom of generations, the rhythm of your own being, and the quiet sanctuary that resides inside.